It's an evening of stories, and as I was thinking about the story of my life, I realized that the course of my life has been largely determined by the scholarships that I've received. In high school, when I was dreaming of becoming an opera-singing rabbi, I applied to every university in the country which had a good Jewish studies and vocal music program. I ended up at Vanderbilt University in Nashville, Tennessee, not only because I liked the school, but also and especially because they gave me a generous scholarship which made it possible for me to go. In Nashville, I started going to the Orthodox synagogue, where I met this incredible couple, Moshe and Libby Worthen. Moshe had heard me singing from the women's section and came over. He wanted to know, what was I doing in Nashville? What was I going to be doing after graduation? At that point, I had no clue. He told me about this amazing program in Israel called Machon Pardes. What he didn't tell me was that he and his wife, Libby, helped to fund a scholarship for Vanderbilt students to spend a year after graduation studying in Israel. What I didn't tell him, not until almost a year later, was that I thought we were distant relatives. We were. So graduation is approaching. I was trying to decide between staying in Nashville with my friends or taking this giant adventure and moving to Israel, going there for the first time. I didn't know how to choose, so I decided to make a deal with the universe. If I was supposed to stay in Nashville, the universe could make it clear by giving me a great job. If I was supposed to go to Israel, the universe could make that clear by giving me a scholarship. So I applied to everything I could find, every job, every scholarship, every program in Israel. And after a few months, I had gotten exactly one job offer. $50 a week teaching Hebrew school, I could buy groceries, or a fully funded year of study in Israel. My path was clear. I moved to Israel and immediately loved it. I loved the land, the culture, the learning, but most of all, I loved the people. I remember Skyping home to my parents and just gushing, telling them about the brilliant and insightful comments I heard in class, about the social justice projects I saw my friends doing in the community, about the concerts they were performing in. I was in awe about the way they could be fully themselves in the world, the ways they were willing to be vulnerable. They were creative and compassionate, spunky, thoughtful, brilliant, and fun to be around. And they all had one thing in common. They were all students at Hebrew College. When the time came for me to apply to Rabbinical School, I knew there was only one place I wanted to go. I decided to do things a little bit differently than I'd ever done before. Despite the fact that I knew I could never afford to go to Rabbinical School, I decided I was going to only apply to Hebrew College. I knew it was the school of my dreams, the only place I wanted to be. When I got my acceptance letter, I was excited, but also afraid. What if this didn't work out? And then I got my financial aid award, and I felt like I had gotten my yes from the universe, my affirmation. Yes, this is the place you are meant to be. This is the place you get to go. You can follow your dreams. And it has been the perfect place for me. Hebrew College is the only place in the world where I could pursue simultaneous ordination as a rabbi and a cantor. It's the only place in the world where I could study with students from all different backgrounds, with all different political orientations, all different practices. The only seminary in the world where I knew I would be encouraged to explore, to find myself, to become myself, to try things on, to make mistakes. Hebrew College taught me how to open into myself, to become who I am meant to be. Hebrew College taught me to open my heart to wonderful surprises. Last year, I was walking the halls of Hebrew College. It was my day off, so I was wearing casual clothes and a Vanderbilt sweatshirt. This woman approached me and introduced herself. She had seen my sweatshirt, and her daughter was about to move to Nashville, so she wanted to know if I knew anything about the community. We started to chat. I didn't really think anything of it. I offered to connect her daughter with some of my friends who are still in Nashville, and we left. But she remembered me, and she's become an angel in my life. You see, she is a member at Temple Emanuel in Newton. And when we met, Temple Emanuel had just finished a 2-year search process, which culminated in a hire that didn't work out. After our meeting, she wrote to the president of Temple Emanuel, asking him if he would consider meeting with me, maybe hiring me for the next year. He told her that they weren't searching anymore, but he valued her opinion, so he would meet with me, but she shouldn't get her hopes up. We met on Christmas Day, 2015. It was the best Christmas of my life. And it was an amazing meeting. I felt instantly at home, instantly connected. Shortly thereafter, Temple Emanuel offered me an internship for this year, with the caveat that if it was a good fit, I could maybe join the clergy team after graduation. It's been an amazing fit. I love it there. Temple Emanuel is the community of my dreams. I feel so blessed to get to work with people who I love, with mentors and colleagues who I admire, who inspire me, who teach me every single day. I feel so blessed to get to do work that I love. My role at Temple Emanuel is to focus on teens and young adults. Essentially, I get to work with young people as they find themselves, as they discern what are their unique gifts, their unique skills, and see where they are going to apply themselves in the future. I get to help them find the Jewish skills, the Jewish tools, the Jewish traditions that will help them to be successful in the world. I've always known I wanted to become a rabbi. I discovered that I wanted to be a cantor along the way. But each step in my life has been guided by scholarships. It was a scholarship I got to Vanderbilt University that brought me to Nashville, Tennessee, where I met Moshe and Libby Worthen and found out about going to Israel. It was a scholarship I got to be at Machon Pardes that introduced me to students from Hebrew College. It was a scholarship I got to come to Hebrew College that brought me here to Boston. And that scholarship brought me to the halls of Hebrew College and introduced me to the woman who would connect me to the community of my dreams. Scholarships are more than money. They are the power of affirmation in a world which can be overwhelming. Scholarships remind us that we are God's agent on this scene, guiding each other towards a brighter tomorrow.